Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to today's discussion points here on Buzzing Pattaya, and to a topic that I'm really looking forward to getting your responses to. I think there's going to be some really good, fun, quite interesting replies. And the question of today's discussion is, how do you get over a hangover? Yeah, we've all been there, I'm sure. I know there'll be some people that don't drink, and no problems, guys. You know, I respect your decisions and fair play to you for doing that. That must take some incredible discipline to go out of a nightlife and withhold from drinking. But I, respect to that. But for most of us, myself included, obviously we like a few beers. And if you like Ian, then you like far more than a few beers. And he's often coming here, hanging out his backside. But the point being is, what I did was I've been searching around the internet, just looking at random stuff, keeping up on news, and I bumped into an article from Dr. Olivier Clinic. Now, you may or may not remember Dr. Olivier. He's the gentleman that I went to get my testosterone jabs. Me old little boy here ain't working, so I had to go and get some help, and I went through the course of 4 injections. However, he does publish an article, and I thought, you know what, this is a great topic, because we're here in Pattaya. We're out, we're having fun, we're probably drinking far too much, waking up in the morning, and we've all been there. You know, you wake up in the morning, you go, oh man, what's going on? Your head's a mess, you feel so lethargic, you can't get out of bed, you really are in a world of turmoil. So I'm going to go through these. The article says 7 tips for beating the ghastly hangover. And I'm going to read through each one. But what I'd like to do is ask you guys, and I'll share with myself, what do you do to get over a hangover? How do you cure the hangover? Is it the hair of the dog? Or you just, wake up and have another one and crack on again? Do you go out? I mean, I've known people say you've got to eat chocolate, or you've got to have a banana, all kinds of weird and wonderful things. You've got to drink a litre of water before you go to bed, and all these kind of stuffs people are suggesting. I thought, well, let's have a bit of a laugh. It's a tongue-in-cheek video. It's just something where I thought, well, you're coming out here to party. I would say a majority of you will suffer with a hangover at some stage during your trip. How do you get over it, and what are your tips and advice about dealing with it? So, what I will do is, while I'm discussing each point, I'll put the header up, and then while I'm talking about it, I'll get Bo to put some random overlays over the top. Don't worry about the footage. It may not be current. It might be a couple of years old. It might be recent. It doesn't matter. It's just to stop you having to look at me. Right, so it says here, you'll probably know by now that Thailand is the sort of country where there is tons of fun to be had, and on many occasions that will involve knocking back a few drinks. Yet you will also know that the older that we get, that's so true. The hangovers that follow these drinks seem to get worse. I remember when I was young, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this. I'd go out on the lash. I'd get in at silly o'clock in the morning. I mean, even when I was in the army, you get in at silly o'clock in the morning, you'd be up again at like 6 in the morning, dagging the block, getting yourself down to the cookhouse, having your breakfast, and then within an hour you'd be out doing a BFT, or you'd be doing a combat march or whatever, and you'd be fine. Nowadays, oh man, I'm just glued to my sofa. So the first tip that Dr. Olivier gives here says, drink water in between alcoholic drinks. Goes on to say, most will know of this little trick, but how many of you actually remember to do it when you're knocking back the beers? Water is what most of the tissue in our brain is made of, which explains why we often suffer headaches the next morning due to dehydration. I didn't realise that. I didn't actually know that the brain was mainly consistent of water. I thought mine was fresh air. Whereas it says you need to keep your brain and body hydrated when drinking, so try to have a full glass of water in between your alcoholic drinks. Now, I have seen guys do that, and maybe you do this as well. I've seen guys have a few beers, bottle of water, a few beers, bottle of water. I've also known people say drink a litre of water before you go to bed. The only downside to that I see is that if you do that, well then surely you're going to have to get up during the night to go and take a leak. So I'm not sure if that one would work, whether it would benefit you or not, but basically what they're saying is drink water in between your alcoholic drinks. So, is that something you do? Is that where you go with it? Do you have maybe 2 or 3 beers, a glass of water, or a bottle of water, 2 or 3 beers? How do you mix it up? Is that a system that you've used, and did it work? Number 2 here, it says, avoid drinking on an empty stomach. When you have an empty stomach, any alcohol that you consume will be absorbed into your body a lot quicker. Try to make sure that you have a good meal before you start drinking, and preferably one that contains plenty of carbohydrates. So I guess that'll be rice and potatoes, which is easily available out here, especially the rice. This will stop you getting drunk too quickly, and will also soak up much of the alcohol before it gets into your bloodstream. So You know, when we do go out, you know, do you have food? I mean, for me, truthfully, no. I tend to have a breakfast. I don't eat during the day. Then I'll go off and have some beers, and then when I've finished, I'll normally get either a kebab or a curry on the way home. Some habits you just can't get rid of, can you? It used to be great. I used to love it when I was in London. I used to go out on the lash with the lads. We'd have a fantastic time and either stop off and have a curry or we'd go and get a Chinese. Oh man, those days were just so great. But what do you do, guys? Do you specifically make a mental note to go out, and do you eat first, then have your session? I mean, do you get a midnight snack? I guess if you have a midnight snack, by that time the damage is done. So of course it can't absorb the alcohol because you've already ingested it. Check that word out, ingested it. So I guess that may put you in a situation. But for me, you know, I've got to be honest with you, very rarely do I eat before I go on a session with the lads. Generally speaking, I'll have my breakfast around about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. That's when I'll eat. And then from that, I'll go off out and finish off, like I say, with a McDonald's. Oh, McDonald's. Where's your favourite place? Here you go. Here's a quick question, diversifying slightly. Do you have a pizza or a kebab? And if you do, shout out where you go for your kebabs. I do McDonald's in LK Metro or Bronx Pizza opposite. I think they do two slices for 180 bahts. I don't know. It's really, really good. But anyway, so the tip here is avoid drinking on an empty stomach. This one, I've got to be honest with you, it's something I'd never even contemplate doing. But anyway, it's here. Pop a multivitamin. In much the same way that we become dehydrated, our body also loses important nutrients when we are drinking. By taking a multivitamin the morning after a night's drinking, you can help your body to recover a lot quicker and put an end to the hangover quicker too. Had no idea about that. And of course, you know, one of the nice things about being out here is there are plenty of pharmacies. You know, they are literally every couple of 100 meters you'll find a pharmacy. So I'm guessing you could go in and buy a tub of multivitamin tablets. And to be fair, I don't know, is that something you guys do? Have you heard of this before? Is this something that you've used yourself and you found it works? Now, I've got to say for me, never ever heard of that, really haven't. But you know, at the end of the day, I respect Dr. Olivier. I think he's a very, very well known and very professional doctor. So I do appreciate what he's saying. But for me, to pop a multivitamin tablet in the morning, I'm not sure I'll be doing that, but I don't know. Anyway, there you go, that one. Now this next one, I've got to say, I can't see any of us doing this, but you never say never, maybe some of you do. It says a vitamins cocktail. Even better, you could do what many celebrities are doing by having a vitamin cocktail injected the morning after. These contain much higher doses of the vitamins that you need and will have you feeling better almost instantly. Wow. This is becoming the preferred option for those who live a busy lifestyle. Famous people who follow this method include Rihanna and Simon Cowell. I mean, don't forget, do you remember I did the video on Second Road, and it was at the very beginning of Mike Mall, was that where the pea shot, remember the pea shot? Well, they also do vitamin injections. So I'm guessing maybe this is what this article refers to. So if you are looking for a vitamin or a lifestyle injection, go and see them. Go and see them. If you go to Second Road, as you look at the Mike Mall, it's now the new hotel. But as you go into the Mike Mall, on the very left, just before you even enter the building, that is where they are located. And like I say, I mean, they do all kinds of different injections and shots and multivitamins. But I'm guessing that, you know, maybe if you want to be living the life like a famous person, go and get yourself a vitamin cocktail injection and let me know, does it work? Have you had one? Has anyone on the channel here that's been out, had a session, woke up in the morning, have you been out and had a vitamin shot, a cocktail? And in all honesty, did it make any difference at all? Did it really, really work? Interested to find out. Okay, so I mentioned earlier about eating chocolate, a banana, and all these various other things. I'm not sure about this one. It says eggs and orange juice. Without doubt, one of the best ways to deal with a hangover is to refuel your body. Eggs are a great way of repairing some of the damage caused to your liver the night before because they contain taurine. A good suggestion would be to have them scrambled and some healthy veggies and a glass of pure orange juice to really put some healthiness back into your body. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine some of our livers have been absolutely boiled, cooked and refried. But yeah, I mean, orange, I must say I do like orange juice. I would drink a glass of orange juice in the morning. I can't say I would lean towards eggs, albeit that it's been highly recommended here. I'm not sure that that would be my kind of thing. I mean, obviously, some of you, I'm sure you go out and have a full English. You think, yeah, to hell with it. You know, I've got a stinking hangover. I'm going to walk down to somewhere in Pattaya or wherever and get myself a full English breakfast and soak it in and then crack on again. You know, it's funny, you know, I think back now, I look back when I was younger, sometimes we'd do 2 or 3 day benders. Or we'd go away, like we'd go to Ibiza for like 5 days and just, sleeping was cheating. And we used to have a rule between, there was about 8 or 9 of us used to go out there. And the first person to sleep, that was it. You were done for. But I think I've done about 2.5 days before. But anyway, we'll leave that one there. But yeah, eggs and orange juice. So guys, you know, again, the question for you, if you are hanging out your backside, what food do you eat that you think makes a massive difference or helps convince you that it's going to get you past your hangover and you're going to be right as rain within a nanosecond? One thing I do, and I do agree with this, is get outside into the fresh air. You might not feel like going anywhere other than your bed when you're suffering from a hangover, but you really should try and get out into the fresh air. Totally agree. Oxygen in the air ensures that the toxins that your body has gained from a night of drinking are broken down far quicker. Getting some exercise will also improve your mood due to the endorphins that are released. I'm not sure I want to bust out a set of gymnasium exercises with a hangover, but definitely a walk out in the fresh air. You know, go down. We've got some great places. You know, walk along Beach Road here in Pattaya. If you're over in Jomtien, walk along Jomtien, the beach there. If you're over in Pratunnak, you've got all the beaches down there by Sands Cafe. You know, have a walk down to Dongtan Beach. Naklua, again, you know, you've got other beaches there. So there's no excuse not to go out and have a walk. And to be honest with you, walking along the beach in the fresh air, you know, just taking in the thoughts of the night before, at the end of the day, you know, a bit of exercise will help recover from your hangover. Now, on the other side of the coin, if you've got some new company with you, maybe you could think of an alternative exercise to help reduce the hangover. I don't know. But definitely for me, I must say, I like it. You know, you go out, have a nice walk, clear your head, maybe stop off, have an orange juice or whatever, and just enjoy the atmosphere of the morning. The early mornings are great. I do a lot of videos about early mornings. I really like the early mornings. It's nice to see the city wake up and start to come alive, and it really is, for me, it's a great time of the day. But, you know, like it says here, like Mr. Olivia says here, get outside into the fresh air, guys. Is that something you try, and does it work for you? The last one, obviously it makes perfect sense, but then that defeats the whole object, because it says here, don't drink in the first place. Rather obvious, but the surefire way to beat a hangover is not to get one in the first place. If going out in a group, why not opt to be the designated driver? Well, we don't need a driver out here. If you've rented or own a car in Thailand. This way you can watch all your friends drinking, knowing that they'll regret it heavily in the morning, whilst you will be able to go out about your day feeling great. Bit of a bar humbug, that one, isn't it, really, to be honest. You know, if you're going to go out with a group of guys, do you really want to be that one person sat in the corner drinking your water thinking, well, they're all having a great time and I'm not? That's not to say you have to have alcohol in order to have a great time, but you kind of get the what I'm trying to say here. So obviously don't drink in the first place, I get that, but you know, yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one. I do admire, I've got to say, I do admire people that don't drink. You know, how they can go out and immerse themselves into the nightlife and the entertainment here and not drink. Fair play to them. You know, I totally respect you. If you're one of those people, you have my utmost respect, because it really is, it's a tough task. Well, it's a tough task for me and hopefully many others. So there we are, guys. I don't know, what do you think? You know, when you go out, do you pace yourself? Do you like have like a thought, say, right, I'm only going to have 2 beers in each bar and then I'm going to move on? Do you have that sort of system where you say, right, I'll have a few beers, then I'll have a soft drink, I'll have a few beers, I'll have a soft drink? Do you not make any plans at all and you just go out and say, to hell with it, what happens, happens, and let's see where I wake up in the morning kind of thing? Because the one thing that Thailand, and particularly here, has always taught me, and it's always stood true, is never make any plans. You know, I've gone out in the past and I thought, oh, I'm just going to go and sit down and have a beer or a couple of beers on the beach. I might bump into someone I know. Oh, come over here. There's a couple of lads over here. Let's go and have a few beers. And next thing you know, you're falling into your bed at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning thinking, man, that wasn't what I planned. So when you do go out, you know, do you find yourself easily led, easily distracted? Do the girls get hold of you and suddenly, you know, you don't want to leave, so therefore you're drinking more and more? You know, how does your evening pan out? And, you know, all jokes aside, guys, and please, you know, if people do comment, let's be respectful to each other. You know, we've all gone out, we've all had a few beers, we've all made mistakes. But please, if people do comment, and I do encourage you to write your comments down below, I do read every single comment and I do reply. But, you know, what's your key to success in overcoming a hangover? How do you get over the hangover process? Do you do any of the suggestions here that we've made here, you know, with Dr. Olivia's clinic? Do you follow any of those suggestions? Have you had this multivitamin cocktail injection? Have you had that before? What was it like? I've never heard of it before, but you know, if it works for them, great. Or do you just literally lay there and wipe out the entire morning and possibly the entire afternoon because you just can't prise yourself out of bed because you literally are in a world of pain and turmoil? What do you think, guys? All right, there we are. That's it today. It's just a quick short video. I just came across this article and I thought, you know what? Let's have a bit of a fun. Let's see what guys out there do. Let's see how I don't want you to share any, I mean, well, we could do that, I suppose. You could share some embarrassing moments that being drunk has led you into, but I think that's probably another video. We'll leave that for another day. But like I say, you know, your hangover, your cures, how'd you get over it? What do you do? Please drop your comments below. All right, there we are. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Please take a look at our new website, buzzingpattaya.com. It's full of information, up-to-date information, as well as also having our members area. If you look on the menu on the left-hand side of the website, the last icon, click on that one. That will take you through to our members area where we showcase stuff on there that we can't showcase on here. Incidentally, have a look at Discord, totally free of charge. We've got over 10,000 members in there now, so please jump onto Discord, have a look. You can ask all these kind of questions, plus lots more. And there's a lot of very well established, very well knowledgeable, what's that about? Well experienced guys on the platform that can help you out if there's any questions or any information you're looking for. And lastly, if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link in the description below. Thank you so much indeed. Your support is much appreciated. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much indeed for watching. And please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.